Hi, this is the second tutorial for the Google Sheets version of the Celebration Days spreadsheet. So previously, we were in the list of days to celebrate worksheet where you selected all the different calendar days that you wanted to consider for your editorial calendar. Once you've made those selections, now you'll be thinking about how do I want to add these to my blog. One of the ways that you can decide how to include those is by looking at this Review Your Selections worksheet. So this is the green tab. You can see the very faint green underscore on the tab name. So you already have all your selections. The challenge is you want an easy way to see what's coming up next so that you can plan ahead. So for example, if you were going to create Pinterest pins associated with your blog post, you really want to ensure that you plan far in advance of that celebration day arriving. Especially on Pinterest, people tend to plan ahead much more significantly. So how can we see everything? Well, let's look at the Review Your Selections worksheet. First of all, I want to draw your attention to this entry right here, number of items displayed. So right now there are no filters added to this worksheet, and it's displaying all the items. It's displaying 3,538 items. That's a lot of items. That's far too many to try to scroll through. So first and foremost, you only want to select the items that you've chosen. So you would use the selections filter. In the selections filter, you have three choices. These are the same selections you saw previously for the drop down from the list of days to celebrate when you were selecting your items. So we remove not on my list and we only display maybe in my selections. We click OK and wait for it to refresh. Now we see we have 81 items displayed. You can scroll down and see these items. Now that's much easier to view, but that's still a lot of items. There are other ways you can look at this. Primarily, I would suggest from here, your first choice might be to select by months. Now, Google Sheets filters alphabetically, so you will have to scroll up and down to find the month that you want. So let's say we want to look at, I'm going to clear the existing items. Let's say we want to look at March and April, just 2 months. Let's click OK. So now we're seeing 15 items. This is much easier. So if you were planning for posts that you want to write in March to take advantage of, let's say you want to write a post for Dream Day. And for Dream Day in March, you want to plan ahead. Perhaps there are some Pinterest pins you want to create. Maybe there's a course you want to put together. So you want to plan in advance. So using these filters, you can see those days coming up and decide which ones you truly want to include in your blog. And in fact, at this point, I'd probably go back to selections and I'd say, get rid of the maybes, look at only the ones I truly have confirmed I want to look at. And now there are only 9. So it's just an easier way to filter through the information. Again, if we went back and added, let's add May to the list. You're really planning ahead. Now we'll see 14 items. So it just gives you a better way to filter through the items. Now I'm going to go back and add maybe to the selections option. And I'm going to include the first 6 months of the year. Now I want to look at categories. So I have 43 potential days to celebrate that I've designated I might want to celebrate and have information for. You can narrow this down. I'm going to clear these. And let's say you're only interested in, what would be an interesting choice here? How about inventions? So you would adjust that filter, click OK. Aha, there's only one invention in that time frame in the items that we've selected. So again, using these three filter options, you can help sort out what you want to look at and plan a little more easily. Now, at one point, when I was looking at this information, you may have seen something appear on the right-hand side. I'm just going to click on this table again. So what you're looking at here is a pivot table. And whenever you click on the table or the headings for the table, you'll see the information related to the pivot table appear on the right. And I was avoiding mentioning that it was a pivot table because that makes some people nervous. So you don't even have to worry about how the table's created. You can just take advantage of its existence and use the filters to see what you need to see. So it's not a big concern, but this is a pivot table, just so you're aware. So this is how you would sort out after you've configured your selections from the list of days to celebrate worksheet. Then from this review your selections worksheet, you can map out your approach to your calendar posts and what you want to achieve. I do have one more tutorial. I'm going to look at a couple of advanced options just so you're aware, and that'll be in the next tutorial.